We were somewhere around Barstow at the edge of the desert when the drugs began to take hold.
I have no idea what that means, but nope, we're talking about a noise.
It's the famous line for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I saw it like 20 years ago. More.
Sal saw it when I was an infant.
Yeah.
He saw it one Hussin ago, okay?
The drugs are taking hold. This is a great one. All right, guys. So we are officially not doing aliens on the regular anymore. Until I can find something
that's
good.
For the best.
Every alien topic is starting into the answer is cell phones, or there wasn't a lot to work with it, or the information was 10 years old. The latest one that I was having fun trying to figure out actual information, I thought it'd be fun to discuss the theory that Egyptians, the pyramids, were built by aliens. But apparently, Elon Musk made that comment about a year ago, and Egypt disputed the comment, which then turned into an entire discourse about whether or not that is a racist statement. And if you do a search for aliens built the pyramids, that's all you get. So I'm done trying to get my stuff for my topics, and screw you, Elon Musk. So today, we're going to be looking at the Taos hum. So what if I were to tell you that there are noises that exist out there that you can't hear, but certain people can? Not like levels like a dog, just a bizarre noise.
I would believe you.
So in the town of Taos, or however it's pronounced. Taos? Okay.
Taos.
In north central New Mexico, apparently you guys all know about this one because you all know how to say the word.
Taos, New Mexico is a big part of Young Justice, if you remember that show that we watched.
No one watched Young Justice. That's why it's not on the air anymore. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
It's a small, laid-back, artsy community that is home to an unusual mystery. A resident hum of unknown origin called Taos hum. A variety of theories have been offered as an explanation, ranging from the mundane to the fantastical, the psychological to the paranormal, stoned hippies, secret government, mind-controlled experiments, underground UFO bases, and everything in between have been blamed. This hum was first reported in the 1990s by a man named Joe Mullins, a professor of engineering at the University of New Mexico, who conducted research on the Taos hum, based on a survey of residents, and only about 2% of the general population are believed to be the hearers of the hum. Those who have claimed to detect the hum, sensitive equipment was then set up in the homes of several of these hearers, measuring sounds and vibrations, but after extensive testing, nothing unusual was detected. The research did reveal, however, that there is not a single identifiable Taos hum, but it said several different ones that people are reporting. Some describe it as a whirl, some describe it as a hum, some call it a buzz. The fact that not everyone heard the same thing was puzzling to our researchers, suggesting that they may have been reporting subjective experiences instead of objective sounds. So before I go further, what do you guys think about this?
It's interesting. It could be people having like what is it? What's that sound? Tinnitus. They could have tinnitus.
Mm-hmm. That was my first thought, that it was just tinnitus and they weren't documenting it right.
I also assumed it was tinnitus too.
Right. Because I know what tinnitus sounds like, and I know that you can like replicate it. I mean, not that like you should like broadcast it into the ether, and that's what's going on here. But I think like, Benny hooked up with the hum, so supposedly, like I've heard it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it live here on the air for them.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that next. So the hum.
Yeah.
Well, you go ahead, keep going. While
it sounds like a low frequency version of tinnitus, but I also can't place it directly, so I find it interesting that it's like it's there. It's like, oh, there's like a sound. So
right
here we go.
This is the Taos hum. Supposedly, by the way.
You guys don't hear that all the time?
That's like the sound you hear when your ears are popped and you're trying to like unpop them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I can't get it to go. And it's like, woo, woo,
woo. I think it also, it could be, it sounds a little bit like power lines.
Yeah. Or electricity.
Yeah, electricity or some kind of generator.
It sounds like the sound, like if you've ever been anywhere near like a big electromagnet, that's like what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. So,
but the point is that there is no big source in this area that could be giving off this hum. It's just
Right,
all
unless it's
hearing
like
it.
underground or in a hollowed out mountain or
Which is then,
low
Dan,
orbit.
what's your first theory? Come on, give us a Danism theory.
A Danism theory. Well, my first thought was what is the elevation and what's the surrounding area?
It's New Mexico, mountains around them.
Because if it's in sort of a dome, like almost like covered around with like big mountains or something, air would create weird currents and stuff to cause different noises like that. Different altitudes causes the ear popping thing. But I mean, it could also be something underground that only is sometimes there, and that's why some people can hear it and some people can't.
Yeah.
If it's moving, like if it's because are these people saying that they are always hearing it?
Yes.
Or is this
2%
one of
that
those
do hear
things
it are
where
stating that they are always hearing it.
Okay.
Cool. They're sick.
Yeah.
So there is a series. So there is a consensus that this hum is real. It's like researchers believe that this is a legitimate thing. This is not a situation of like, are aliens real or is Bigfoot real? There is a consensus that this hum is a real thing, but there is no idea where it could be coming from. Now there's a series of theories, and they go from crazy to like kind of realistic. So let's go through some of these theories.
do we have like I don't know how much information you have behind the 2% that can hear it, but is it a certain population? Because I do know that there are like certain sounds that or in theory, if you're younger than the age of this age, you're more likely to be able to hear it
I
than
think
if
those
you're
are frequency
older.
sounds. Like those are
Yeah.
specifically like higher and lower pitch sounds. This is
that's
supposed to be
what-
something different than that, right?
There is no consistency. Who hears the
Okay.
hum? 2% of the people living in so there's the hum has been picked up in other areas. This is the famous one because it was the first one reported. This was reported originally in the 1950s in that
Yeah.
area, but it has been reported in a few other areas. Going as far out as that's where that guy is from. It's in a few spots in the U.S. that this has been reported. Windsor, Ontario is one of them. So that's
Okay.
over in Canada. We've got New Mexico. We've got a couple other New Mexico spots, it looks like. Sydney, Australia has a hum.
Ooh.
Back in the United States, there's the Kokomo hum. So I'm assuming it's in wherever Indiana City's municipal government. So
Okay.
there's a few spots that this has been reported in. The first one was in the 1950s in Taos. So that's why this is that first button that gets up. Most
Yeah.
people who hear the hum describe it as similar to a diesel engine idling. One person said it's kind of torture. Sometimes you just want to scream. And another one says that it gets worse at night. It's hard to get to sleep because I hear this throbbing sound in the background. You're tossing and turning, and you get more and more agitated with it. But there is no consistent older, younger, a race or a gender. None of these things. It's
Right.
just-
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
most researchers investigating the hum express some confidence that the phenomenon is real and not the result of mass hysteria or a hero's hypochondria. The extraterrestrials beaming signals to Earth from their extraterrestrials beaming signals to Earth from their spaceships.
Nope.
So they're saying it's real, and we don't think it's aliens. Okay.
Right. Right. Okay.
Then you know
Yeah.
what? I think it might be aliens. I mean, they're coming out publicly and they're saying no, but if it's affecting just a small pocket of people, what if it's because they're aliens beaming to 2% of people because they're going to take them? That's what the Bible says, the rapture. It's actually about aliens taking the 2% of people that hear the Taos hum. What if it's all connected?
All right, I'm
Yeah.
going to build on top of that. What if they're alien sleeper agents and this is their call to get activated and the hum is only going against the sleepers?
But what
Oh my
if the hum is broken and not activating them, just causing them discomfort because it's not working right?
Right. So their memories are all locked. They think they're regular people. They're like the Zygons in Doctor Who. They're shape-shifting. They think they're the people now. They've totally forgot how to shapeshift again. And the signal's supposed to activate them, but they don't know. So they keep trying to ask the government for help. But that's how they're going to get caught. And I bet the U.S. is aware of it, and they're using them. I bet they're using them to find out.
So anyway, in case
Awesome.
of the Kokomo hum, industrial equipment is usually the first suspected source of the hum. In one instance, Levithan was able to trace the noise to a neighboring building's central heating unit.
Oh, okay.
So that one right there. Other suspected sources have been high-pressure gas lines, electrical power lines, as you guys stated, wireless communication devices, and other sources. I remember back in the day, whenever I would be on, I don't remember what it was. It was on something. It was like I want to say like Ventrilo or something like really old. If I was getting a phone call, I would hear the and then the phone would go off.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were
It was near your
Hassan,
speakers.
You're too high tech for us. So
Benny, I won't deal with you right now. Continue. I won't put up with
So, I mean,
this.
that one could be. There's been speculation the hum could also result of a low-frequency electromagnetic radiation audible only to some people. And there are verified cases in which individuals have particular sensitivities to signals outside of the normal range of human hearing. Now we're starting to get into a little more to the fantastical, though, because where is that electromagnetic radiation coming from?
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Fantastic magnets and where to find them.
Medical experts are quick to point out tinnitus is a likely cause.
Hey,
but
all
repeated
right.
testing has found that many hearers have normal hearing and no occurrences of tinnitus.
Oh.
Because you can test for tinnitus.
Yes, you can.
So, environmental factors have also been blamed, including seismic activity such as microseisms, very faint, low-frequency earth tremors that can be generated by the action of ocean waves.
Okay.
But what if it's military experiments in submarine communications? No one has been able to track down either one of those. For now, hearers of the hum have to resort to white noise machines and other devices to reduce and eliminate the annoying noise.
Right.
So in the final statement, when the BBC interviewed this individual about it, is that it's been a mystery for over 40 years, and it will remain one for a lot longer.
I mean,
Did you hear that? Is that not the most sus thing you've ever heard?
Right.
It's been a mystery for 40 years, and it'll be a mystery for 40 more.
if you know what's good for you.
You know what's goddamn good for you. Guys, they're trying to hide the aliens from us. They are.
Yeah.
Think about it. A hum in New Mexico? Do you know what happens in New
all
Mexico?
places, yeah.
Abductions.
See, this theory right here is
Yeah.
that it's the midshipman fish who gives off a low hum for its mating call. I don't think that's going to work in like New Mexico, but could you imagine that, Dan? What do you guys don't hear that? A fish wants to fuck me.
Dude, imagine that's what your brain fucking tells you when you hear a fish's mating call. You're an animal's mating call.
Yeah.
Does that squirrel want to fuck me? It's like, no, dude, that's not about you.
No, it's not about you, man. How egocentric.
All animals want some of this.
Yeah.
So this has come up in popular culture as well. It was on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It was on Live Sciences. It was on the BBC Radio 4, because you know BBC Radio has like 80 numbers.
Sure.
It was in the X-Files episode Drive, where Mulder
Oh.
speculates the extremely low frequency radio waves may be behind the so-called Taos hum.
Okay.
In the 2000 episode of police procedural series Criminal Minds, characters are made to commit violent acts as a result of mania caused by the hum.
Oh.
I mean, that I could see simply because when you do, if these people are actually hearing something, regardless of what that is, hearing something constantly that is very irritating does kind of push people into a bit of psychosis sometimes.
Hold on, guys. The Criminal Minds show is always based on true stories. Did someone
Absolutely.
actually kill somebody based on the hum?
I don't know. But
Hey,
I do want to say
getting to
Wiki linked
research.
this to a thing called the exploding head syndrome, and I was like, wait,
Scanners.
What?
All right.
But but actually, that's just like you get woken up by a flash of light or something like that. So, because I was like, that would be great. I mean, like that not great, but you know,
Don't live in Taos, your head might explode.
Yeah.
Also, there's a weird noise.
So no final verdict, Dan. You don't got some crazy military experiment you want to throw out there?
Honestly, I was looking at them, and there were only two things that came to mind potentially, and both of them are wind related. And because the biggest one was, I looked up Taos, and then I looked up a couple of the other places that had it, and they have a very unique, very architecture structure that every building is very square and very like stylized in the way that they are made. And so the only thing that I could think of is weird vibrations from wind going through it, just like how sometimes it'll go through and it'll make a whistling noise, but with certain reverberations because of the architecture and because it was a very unique looking architecture, that could be it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like it's a signal going for sleeper agent lizard people.
Do I have
It's
anything for you?
aliens.
Hassan, you got a theory on this?
Look, okay, I'm doing some research. I did a little bit of research. There was another hum. There was another hum that ended
I
during
like how
the
low you get
pandemic.
for this, guys.
Oh.
guys.
Look, it's important. It's important that we talk at a level.
Got to get the
playing
new
field,
register,
okay?
yeah.
Because they can hear the upper register. The aliens. So now there used to be this Windsor hum kind of towards Canada, right?
Oh.
But during the pandemic, they defunded a steel plant, and because of that, they shut down a burner, and then the hum completely stopped. And then everyone was like, "This is why." But you couldn't even track the decibels of it at the time of like it's coming from this area. They couldn't locate it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, some people's ears were capable of hearing the blast furnace. Now, I think they could tie this back to aliens pretty easily. Now, the blast furnace, fire is the enemy of aliens. So the blast furnace's noise is warning them, stay away, you'll die, you'll melt. So they're scared.
All right, and I'm gonna end on this thought. Sal, do you believe the hum is real?
Yeah, I do think it's real. I just don't think it's
You don't think any of their
these
theories are good?
chuckleheads said. Yeah, I think it might be it could be a boiler, it could be an electromagnetic hum, it could be any number of reasons. It could be a combination of things. It could be 6 things. Like, a couple of people with tinnitus who don't want to admit they have it are like, "Yeah, I'm hearing it too." Like,
All right, guys. Well, this has been today's episode of Nope. Not like a crazy one, but I thought a fun little
That's
mysterious noise might be interesting to discuss. So if you guys like this show, please consider giving us a high rating on your favorite podcast network or giving us a comment down below. We'll see you next time right here on Nope.